Welcome to AI Historical Revival. Forget the mighty warriors of old. Today we decode a unique historical anomaly known as Job. He was an ancient billionaire who lost his family, his vast fortune, and his physical health in a single 24-hour period. Why did a perfectly functioning system collapse so quickly? This is not just a religious story, it is a structural stress test. We are examining the absolute limits of human psychological and biological structures when subjected to extreme trauma and sudden catastrophic loss. Imagine a thriving enterprise destroyed in moments. The sky turns dark as the first wave of calculated disasters begins to fall. Fire from the sky consumes the sheep and the servants. The infrastructure of his wealth is incinerated in a blinding flash. Simultaneously, 3 bands of Chaldean raiders attack the camels. It is a coordinated military strike designed to leave absolutely nothing behind. A great wind from the wilderness strikes the 4 corners of the house, burying his 10 children under tons of stone. In a heartbeat, the king of the east becomes a beggar. He tears his robe, shaves his head, and collapses completely. Yet in this abyss, he does not curse the system, he worships. This is the first anomaly in our human data set, but the test was not over. The next phase targeted his biology. We now move from economic collapse to physiological warfare. The ancient texts describe loathsome sores from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head, a total infection. Under a modern medical lens, this resembles an extreme form of dermatitis, or perhaps an ancient weaponized biological agent attack. He sits among the ashes, using a broken piece of pottery to scrape his skin. Imagine the sheer level of desperation. The itch is deep within the nerves. The relief of scraping brings bleeding and pain, creating a cycle of endless physical torture. His skin turns black and peels. His bones burn with heat. The nervous system is firing pain signals without any pause. Nights become a horror. He says, "When shall I arise and the night be gone?" He is full of tossing to and fro. Even his sleep is invaded. He is scared with dreams and terrified through visions. There is no escape, awake or asleep. His wife asks the question any logical observer would ask. Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die. It was a logical suggestion for euthanasia, but Job refuses. He accepts the bad with the good, defying the standard human response. His friends arrive, but they do not speak. They sit with him for 7 days and 7 nights. The silence is heavy. They saw that his grief was very great. This silence was the only comfort they offered before the long debates began. When Job finally speaks, he curses the day of his birth. He questions the purpose of life given to the bitter in soul. His friends argue that he must have sinned. Job maintains his innocence. It is a courtroom trial held in a pile of ashes. Job demands a hearing. He wants to present his case directly to the architect of the universe. He wants to know why. His flesh is clothed with worms and clods of dust. His skin is broken and loathsome, yet his spirit remains unbroken. This is the ultimate anomaly. A biological system that should have shut down is being sustained by sheer willpower and faith. Then the debate ends. The sky rips open. The Creator answers Job, not with sympathy, but with a display of cosmic power. Out of the whirlwind, a voice speaks. It challenges Job's understanding of the physical universe and the engineering of life forms. God does not explain the suffering. Instead, he introduces 2 entities that defy human comprehension, Behemoth and Leviathan. Behold now Behemoth. He eats grass like an ox, but his strength is in his loins and force in his belly muscles. He moves his tail like a cedar tree. The sinews of his thighs are tightly knit. This is not a hippopotamus. His bones are like tubes of bronze. His limbs are like bars of iron. He is the first of the works of God. Behold, if a river rages, he is not alarmed. He is confident, even if the Jordan rushes against his mouth. Can you catch him with a hook? This creature represents a power structure that humanity cannot tame, control, or understand. Then comes Leviathan. Can you draw out Leviathan with a fishhook? He makes the deep boil like a pot of ointment. His rows of scales are his pride, shut up as with a tight seal. One is so near another that no air can come between them. His sneezings flash forth light, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. He is a king over all the children of pride. Out of his mouth go burning lights. Sparks of fire shoot out. Smoke goes out of his nostrils as from a boiling pot. The sword that reaches him cannot avail, nor the spear, the dart, or the javelin. He laughs at the threat of the javelin. He leaves a shining weight behind him. One would think the deep had white hair. On Earth there is nothing like him. Is this a dinosaur remnant? Or a description of a biomechanical entity designed by a higher intelligence? The details are technically precise. Job realizes that if he cannot understand the engineering of these monsters, he cannot begin to understand the justice of God. He withdraws his complaints. He says, "I have heard of you by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye sees you." He repents in dust and ashes. The internal conflict is resolved, not by an answer, but by a relationship with the infinite. Now begins the restoration. In systems theory, this is a reboot. The system has been cleared of faults and is restarting. The Lord restored Job's losses when he prayed for his friends. Forgiveness was the key that unlocked the restoration process. His brothers, sisters, and former acquaintances returned. They comforted him and brought capital to restart his economic engine. The Lord blessed the latter days of Job more than his beginning. 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, a massive expansion, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 female donkeys. The scale of his operation doubled. It is the ultimate risk management payout. He also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. The text specifically names the daughters, Jemimah, Keziah, and Keren-Happuch. In all the land were found no women so beautiful as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them inheritance along with their brothers. After this, Job lived 140 years and saw his children and grandchildren for 4 generations. He saw the complete restoration of his bloodline. The anomaly was resolved not by death, but by a superabundance of life. From the ashes of the dunghill to the head of a dynasty, Job illustrates the capacity of the human spirit to regenerate. When you lose everything, you possess the potential to build something stronger. The scars remain, but they become badges of honor. The storm has passed. The whirlwind is gone. Only the quiet confidence of a man who has looked into the abyss remains. The story of Job is not about the pain. It is about the endurance. It is the blueprint for surviving the impossible. He died old and full of days, but his legacy is not the wealth he accumulated. It is the example he set. We have decoded the anomaly. The ultimate human endurance is not physical. It is the refusal to let go of hope. The true wonder is not Leviathan or Behemoth. It is the human will, housed in a fragile body, standing against the infinite. When your world collapses, remember the man from Uz. Remember that the end of the chapter is not the end of the book. Suffering is a crucible. It burns away the unnecessary and leaves behind only what is true, solid, and eternal. Job proved that faith is not a contract for prosperity, but a relationship that survives the fire. A lesson for all time. For anyone facing their own personal storm today, let this ancient narrative be your anchor. You are built to endure. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the past. We hope this analysis has given you a new perspective. This has been a production of AI Historical Revival. We are dedicated to bringing the ancient world back to life with technology. If you enjoyed this decoding of the Job Anomaly, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right now. Don't miss our next episode where we will uncover more secrets from history. Until then, stay curious and stay strong. Life always finds a way to return. Even in the driest desert, the rain eventually falls. Keep watching for the bloom. The stars that Job looked at are the same stars we see tonight. We are connected across thousands of years by the same questions. History is a vast library of lessons. We are just beginning to open the books. Join us as we read them all. Let the light of wisdom guide you through your own challenges. There is always a morning after the darkest night. From all of us here at the team, thank you for watching. We appreciate your time and your support. Goodbye for now. AI Historical Revival. Decoding the past to inspire the future. See you in the next video.